Leeds United are set to face off against Southampton in the playoff final, and it is finally time for the big one. The match that will decide whether we are in the Premier League or the Championship next season. And it's a big Southampton challenge. We've not beaten them this season so far. We've not even taken a lead against them, but I might be feeling a little bit okay about it. And importantly, something that I have just learned fairly recently, winning is worth at least £135 million over a 3-year period. Let's win it, shall we? But first, check out the channel. Like the videos, subscribe, stick around. It's quite nice here. It's a good vibe, and I'm aiming for 3,500 subscribers before the playoff final itself. I don't know where I am right now on that sort of list, because I'm recording this on Friday, but let's hope it goes well. Anyway, diving into it, we need to start with Leeds United's predicted lineup after Daniel Farke's press conference, and I'm going with Ilham Malié in net, defended by Rodon and Ampadu in the middle, with Gray and Firpo as wing-backs, bombing on quite a lot. Ilya Gruev and Glenn Kamara as the midfield duo is seemingly the best way to go, especially when the other two midfielders are back in defence at the moment, with a defensive supporting line of Willy Gnonto, Jorginho Rutter and Crescencio Somerville. They'll be sat behind Joel Piroe because Patrick Bamford is currently injured, so not really a choice, and this isn't the time to start Mateo Joseph. Plus, Piroe had a really good match against Norwich at home, so let's see. So, ultimately, how do Southampton play? This is a big part of the preview. We need to know what we're up against in order to beat it, and they have a very heavy reliance on holding possession. Most of their matches they have vastly outpossessed, I guess, their opponents, with even a 5-0 win over Leicester having them on 66% of the ball. Yeah. No, 5-0 loss over Leicester. Either way. And however, the slight difference is, against Leeds, they've happily ceded the ball quite often. They've gone, okay, Leeds, you can have it, play in front of us, because we're not necessarily incisive all of the time. They do have a tendency to generate a lot of their big chances through the middle, and tend to use a 5-back against Leeds United, which a lot of sides don't tend to do. They tend to stick in their normal shape, a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 or whatever. Southampton specifically changed to a 5-3-2 to deal with us, just because they feel like that is the most effective way to do it, and in the past it's proven that way. In terms of average positions, they are very, very compact, both this way and this way. I had a quick look at this earlier today, and they are something like, on average, within a 30-yard height difference, and don't take up all of the pitch in terms of width, so that's something that we will need to pay attention to. We'll need to sort of break that defensive structure open as much as we can. In addition to that, I think the surprise attacking threat on their half is probably going to be Kyle Walker-Peters. We know that Kyle Walker-Peters is a very, very decent player. Can do a good job. However, he's someone that we can fairly effectively shut down, I believe, if we properly pay attention and make sure we've done everything right. Let's hope that we have, and Southampton do have a lot of weaknesses themselves. For example, Ryan Manning, very, very easy to annoy. Got booked against Willy Gnonto and was relatively lucky to not get sent off on the last day of the season, in my opinion, and that's something that we can definitely focus on. In addition to that, they conceded a lot more chances than us across the season, 11 more XG, and added on to that, both of their keepers concede vastly more goals than they should. Both McCarthy and Bazunu concede more than they should do, which could be a very, very, very serious problem for their side, because we can cause them some real issues here, and I'm hoping that we do. Add on to that the fact that they tend to struggle against counter-attacks and wide attacks. I think we've got a very good chance, because that's how we tend to do football anyway at Leeds United. So, how exactly should the Whites play their game? It's a good question, and it's a very open question, considering we've used a 4-2-3-1 recently and a 4-3-3 recently. Both of them led to clean sheets, but they sort of have different aspects to them. I discussed that in another recent video, and I hope that things can go okay. First up, I think we do well by being heavily transitional here. The Leicester vs Southampton match saw Leicester do that all the way through. They soaked up attacks, soaked up the fact that Southampton had 2/3 of the ball, and turned that into their own going forward, which is brilliant. That's what we need. Brilliant. Perfect. Want to do that. However, at the same time, we need to retain that defensive structure. We need to make sure we're not falling apart a little bit. They scored, for the most part, when we were against them, because they slid players into the defensive gaps. such as Firpo coming across a little bit further than he should, leaving a gap at the far post. That is something that we definitely need to deal with. Across the entire pitch, we need to focus on intelligent movement, because if we don't, that's where we've got a couple of issues coming in. Don't focus on intelligent movement, and I can see this being a potential loss for the Whites. This means playing those nice little passing triangles. This means tracking opponent runs, doing everything we can to understand the movement across the pitch wherever we can. Add on to that the fact that we need to keep the pressure up all through the match. They've only lost 1-0 twice this season, which means that if we score, we need to keep on going. One goal might not be enough, so keep on going. Keep pushing them. We score once, they have to attack us, and then we can hit harder on the transition, score more goals, and I am recording this live. As Chris said in the chat, put more goals in the opponent's net than we concede. That's how you win. Add on to that the fact that we need to make changes as soon as we need them. We have an annoying tendency to not do that in this season, and I think that's something that we should be looking into doing a little bit more. I think if things aren't working on the wings, we've got Dan James waiting to come on. If Piru's number 9 work isn't working as it should be, Mateo Joseph is available, and we've got a good enough squad to make the changes that will win us this game. Question is, are we going to do it? I hope so, but you can never guarantee either way. And in the words of a wise man, Neil Warnock, enjoy it, but enjoy it by being fucking disciplined. And I think that's what we can do. I think we're in a good position to do that and ultimately make the right decisions that give us a win. In terms of predictions, I don't want to make them, because making predictions is scary. But I'm going to say a Leeds United win. I'm going to say 2-0, and that's purely because I want it to be that way, because Wembley is not ready for the celebrations of the Leeds fans the moment that final whistle goes if we win. Oh. Affection. It's like when we got promoted last time round and we didn't have any crowds at the ground. Brilliant. That'd be so nice to have. And it's just about making that happen now. And we're 90 minutes away, assuming things all go well. But I want to know what you think. You guys have 2 days more knowledge than I do. I'm recording this on the Friday, so let me know what your predictions are in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. And, oh God, please let us win this game of football. I am a nervy boy, and I quite desperately hope that things go well, because if not, it's going to be a long drive back from Wembley. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you later. I really do hope things go well. No. Yes. If things go well, then I can be happy without people calling me a happy clapper, so it all balances out a bit. Put the word promotion in the comments. See you later.